To make sure the prisoner wasn't pretending to be dead, the warden burned the soles of his feet with fire, but after a long time, the old man showed no reaction. Seeing this, the warden ordered his men to dispose of the body. The guards wrapped him in a shroud, planning to carry him out after dinner. What they didn't know was that another prisoner in the tunnel had witnessed everything. As soon as the guards left, the man eagerly crawled out. Looking at the cellmate he had spent 8 years with, now separated by life and death, he instantly broke down. Dying in this prison might as well have been his own fate. Glancing at the old man's body, a bold idea suddenly formed in his mind. He quickly tore open the shroud and dragged the old man's body into his own cell, placing him on the bed in a sleeping position. He cut off some of his own hair and attached it to the old man's head, making him resemble himself even more. Once everything was set, the man returned to the old man's cell, retrieved the treasure map hidden in the wall, and before the guards returned, sewed himself into the shroud. After that, everything depended on fate. Not long after, the guards returned from dinner. Though the body felt a bit heavy as they lifted it, they didn't suspect anything. They opened the shroud, and to be extra careful, tied an iron ball to the ankles before throwing the body into the sea.
1, 2.
Thanks to the small knife the old man had made before his death, the man cut a slit and escaped from the shroud. He then removed the iron ball, letting it fall into the abyss, and, freed from his restraints, swam vigorously toward the light. After 14 years of wrongful imprisonment, the man finally escaped, but the danger wasn't over. He had to reach the shore before the guards noticed. Meanwhile, when the guards brought food, they sensed something was wrong. No matter how they called, the man didn't respond. Approaching the bed, they were horrified to see that the person lying there was the old man who had been thrown into the sea. The warden ordered his men to move the bed. To their shock, the stones in the wall moved easily like building blocks. Holding a torch, he looked inside and found a tunnel.
They had tools. Would have used those tools to set himself free from the body bag.
But by then it was too late. Drawing on unknown reserves of strength, the man swam to the shore in one breath, beginning his path of vengeance. To avoid attracting attention, he sneaked into a farmhouse and changed out of the humiliating prison uniform. But when he looked in the mirror, he barely recognized the stranger staring back. 14 years of imprisonment had not only tormented his spirit, but altered his face. Before leaving, he stole a pair of scissors to fix his appearance. A few days later, following blurry memories, he finally returned to his hometown, only to learn that his father had died years ago, buried in the church ahead. The news hit him like a thunderclap. The joy of returning home vanished instantly. He couldn't believe it as he walked toward the grave. Seeing his father's tombstone, he realized that his family had suffered the most during his ordeal. The priest explained that his father had died of grief. The tombstone beside it was his own, with a death date matching the year he was in prison. It was clear that the people who framed him never intended to let him out. After adjusting his emotions, the man went to his fiance's house, only to learn she had married shortly after his imprisonment and was now living in Paris. He left in a hurry, feeling suffocated. The promise that she would marry only him now seemed a cruel joke. Even more shocking, she had married the very man who had framed him for prison.